experiencers to help you find answers in the murky waters of what we call the paranormal. Their bonds with each other reach far beyond friendship, resulting in a pull no punches approach to the many subjects they explore. Their goal? To open eyes, hearts, and even minds to what lies on the other side, and the answers residing there.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Hey, Brandy. How are you?
Oh, I'm just fine, just fine.
We want to welcome everybody to Blondes and Booze. We are excited to be here and to have you all join us. Hey, Robbie. How are you? We, I guess, last Friday, we made it official where we did our first show as Blondes and Booze and the Woo with Tex and his crew. So that was pretty exciting, and it looked like it went over pretty well.
Yeah, I really had a good time.
I did too.
Talking with Tex anytime is great, though.
Yep, yep, with him and DA, that was, and Robbie was on there, so it was a good time. It was definitely a good time. I do got to want to tell everybody just because we did join them, and we appreciate everything that they have done for us and are
Absolutely.
doing for us. And our opening, is also made by them, so we definitely appreciate them. So I got to give some shout outs here. So on Monday evenings, you can watch Texas Front Porch at 6:30 p.m. Central. On Tuesday, you can watch Van Buren Variety at 7 p.m. Central. Also on Tuesday, you can watch Beyond BMR at 8 p.m. Central. Wednesdays is Jason McLean Questions Everything at 9 p.m. Central. Thursdays is Brunch with Bigfoot Michigan Rob at noon Central. Thursday evenings is Siru Papers at 9 p.m. Central. So when you guys are done with us, go over to him. And on Fridays, you get us, the Blondes and Booze and the Woo.
And the woo.
So yeah, but like I said, we definitely appreciate everybody. So if everybody would tune in tomorrow night, also same time, we have a couple of our friends on, Terry Mosby and our friend Megan Medley. So we know them both personally, and we have investigated with them both quite a bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm pretty excited about this. As some of you guys may see and may realize, our third partner in crime is not here, and I want to put it out there. She needs our prayers. She's in the hospital tonight, and gosh, I'm gonna cry. She's one of my best friends, and so she needs our prayers tonight. That's all I can say. So if everybody
Kisses,
would,
Aaron.
yep, for sure. And don't know if she's watching because she is in a lot of pain right now. But if she is, we love you, and we pray you get the pain relief you need and the healing you need too. So
Love you
anyway,
bunches.
yep. So on to happy things. Let's. I'm pretty excited about our guest.
Been waiting a minute for him to come on.
Right, I'm gonna bring him in.
There he is.
Mr. Brandon.
Hello, everybody.
How are you?
I'm exhausted, tired.
Exhausted. Yeah.
I told.
I was going to say, tell us what are you doing exactly?
Yeah, so I'm down on a small island off the coast of South Carolina called Seabrook Island. I came down here to do a veterans leadership conference. I am on the board of directors of two veteran nonprofits in South Carolina. One that helps with homeless veterans in the area, which we have tons of, and I'll go into that a little bit more later. And another one for post 9/11 war veterans and their families to kind of just get away when PTSD strikes and strikes hard. We have somewhere out in the woods, a beautiful barn that they come stay in for the weekend, and we got activities, whatever we can do to take their minds off of it and get them back. So I'm down here getting some learning on as we say in the
Awesome.
South.
Awesome. Yeah, you do really good stuff for our veterans. I appreciate that. What you
Well,
do.
somewhere along the line, somebody pulled me up by my bootstraps. I was that homeless, raging alcoholic PTSD mess.
Hmm.
And somebody came along and helped me. And now that I've been back on my shamanic path for a while, and I've gotten myself help, because if you can't help yourself, you can't help anybody else. So
Absolutely.
now I've been blessed to be in a position to where I can go full throttle and help those others that are in the same situation that I was in, that feeling hopeless and suicidal. Like a year ago, I almost succeeded in the suicidal path, and that's a story maybe for another time. But
Hmm.
now it's
Absolutely.
my turn to help pull some people out. So
Well,
yeah,
that's
so
fantastic.
I'm down here. It was a 4-hour drive, and I've never been to this part of South Carolina. I didn't even know this island existed. Plantation houses all around. Um, like, you want to talk about history?
Wow, I could only imagine. Are you going to
You
try?
know, I would just love to see all of that. Now I want to go down to like Hilton Head and all of that stuff around there. I'm just fascinated by all the architecture and everything. It's so beautiful.
Yeah. Are you there,
My
Brandon? I think we lost Brandon.
oh no.
He froze.
Hang on. Let me do something.
Hey, at least we can hear you. That's great.
Right. You froze up on us. Can you hear us? Hello. That's the thing, man, with live shows, right?
Yeah, it's like surprise. Look what happens.
Yep. Oh, we have
Oh,
moved it.
his face changed. Oh, there he goes. He'll be
He'll
right
come back
back.
in. Yeah, he'll come back in. He does a great thing though, and actually, this last year's Fall into the Supernatural that we did, it went to help veterans also with PTSD
In the focus program.
in the
Yes.
focus program. Yeah, because we have a teammate whose brother did commit suicide last year from PTSD. He was a veteran, and so we went to uh, something that was kind of hit home to all of us, and we raised I believe it. What was it, Brandy? Close to $2,000 total, if I
I
remember
think
correctly.
so. Yeah.
So it was definitely for a good cause, for sure,
You
for
know, as
sure.
many programs that are out there, we need to make them bigger. We need to, help them help more people. There's a big need for just everything for these women and men, who have served and just
Absolutely.
can't cope when they come home.
Yeah. Don't you have a child in the service?
I do. My son is in the Air
Mhm.
Force. He's currently in Japan. So
Yeah.
yeah, I miss him. But
Yeah.
the good thing is he works nights, which is my days. So he will call me when he's working, so I get to talk to him more
That,
than I thought I would.
that's awesome. That's awesome. Pretty cool. I'm gonna give shout outs here to people that's out here in the chat real quick while
Okay.
we're waiting on Brandon. Robbie's here. Pat Murphy, hello. Janelle, how are you? BMR, long time no see.
Just today.
Chad, yes, it's today. Chad is here. Nina is here. Straw Dog. Let's see. Oh, Bettina. Hey there, girl.
I thought I saw her in there. Hey, Bettina.
Yeah, you need to reach out to us. We haven't talked to you in a little while. So, Trudy, I don't know if I mentioned her name. There's some Facebook users. George Jennings, he says he's a veteran, 40 years, United States Navy. Thank you for your service, for
Thank you,
sure.
sir.
Yep, and AJ's here. So, I guess we wait for Brandon, huh? You guys are stuck with me and Brandy. And I don't know a whole lot about Native American stuff, so
I know. That's why we have guests on so we can learn this stuff.
right, exactly. He'll be back in though, because I actually met Brandon earlier in the year. We were at an event. He's part of Supernatural Inc., who is Katie Stafford from a lot of the TV shows a lot of people have seen. He's on his team, and he's actually based out here out of Kansas City area. And so I met him at an event, and just clicked and started talking. And then when Brandy and Aaron and I went to David Glidden's event, the Haunting Paracon in Joplin, Missouri, he was there. So we made these arrangements for him to come on the show back then. So it's been a while. Oh, he's back.
Is he back?
Hey, you're back.
So I prepared for this eventuality, and I brought a backup mobile hotspot.
You are the schnauzer.
You are so smart.
So now we're rocking and rolling, and we're good. So that shouldn't happen anymore.
That's good, because these people are tired of hearing me BSing my way through this. So
I meant to send you a message, but I was too busy fumbling trying to get the thing out of my bag. So
we figured you'd be back. It's all good. It's all good.
Here we are. We're good.
Do you want to tell everybody, besides the veterans and stuff you do, you want to talk about your team you're on and that good stuff?
Oh, no. Am I going out again?
Let's hope not. Oh, he froze. Nope, you didn't freeze. Maybe you did.
Nope.
You're there.
Can you even hear us?
Okay. Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
I don't know what happened there.
No idea.
I got nothing. Okay, so I heard, can you tell something other than the veteran thing?
Yeah, about your paranormal team you're a part of. What you do?
Oh, yeah, sure. I am a part of Supernatural Inc., which some of you may know, but if you don't, that's with KD Stafford of Ghost of Morgan City, Ghost of Devil's Perch. His wife, Katie, and my wife, Anna, we make up the 4 team members of Supernatural Inc. I've also just recently joined Paranormal Task Force as an investigator, so I thought that was pretty cool.
I'm a past
yeah, that's kind of and for those of you who don't know Supernatural Inc., we focus on making ITC, instrumental trans communication devices. Can you guys hear me? Am I good?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, cool. So we make ghost boxes. We do motion activated devices is our brand new box that we just came out with, the MAD. So we focus on the ITC area. We've made devices for Jack Osborne for all of his shows. We've worked with Ghost Brothers, and obviously Ghost of Devil's Perch. So that's just a little, I guess, background of what we do.
Yeah, we actually had Katie and Katie on the show. It's been a couple months now, but they were on the show with us. Did you hear me?
What I wanted to say too is I've had some of my best spirit box sessions with some of the products made from Supernatural Inc. The nanocoms have always been my friends because they're just so easy and so portable. I just stick them in my jacket pocket and away I go. So I really do love their products. It's really good.
And they're affordable.
Yes, and affordable.
Yep, they are. You want to, while Brandon's froze up, maybe tell them about the helmet you wore that Katie invented.
I think they started off calling it like the God helmet, or now they call it the ghost helmet. I don't exactly know. I was kind of waiting to talk to Brandon about it because he could help me out on some of the technical terms. Anyway, but what it is that it's a helmet that you wear, and it has strobe lights, and the strobe lights are set to it could be a travel beat, it could be just about whatever, and it will put you into a type of, I won't say trance, but it gets you really super focused. And once you sit there and you watch these lights for a while, and you're looking out of the helmet, you will be able to start seeing shadows and other things that are just located just right in front of you that without this helmet you wouldn't be able to see. I've had good results. Now, a lot of people have not had good results with this helmet, but I actually had a really good time with it.
Everybody I know has had, they've seen things. We're talking about the helmet.
Oh, the one we built?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I personally, I
Andy's
used
wore it. Yeah.
yeah, and I've used it several times, and I mean it works for me. But there's some people it just doesn't work for. I kind of caught the tail
that's
end
what I
of
was
what you
saying.
were
It's just
saying.
some people it didn't. But then again, with the spirit box, some people can understand everything that comes out of it, and then there's other people that can't understand a word.
Right. Trudy wants
Well,
to know, do you think
KD, for instance? No, I was just going to say, like KD, for instance, he can pick out anything that comes out of that ghost box. And, sometimes I have yeah, he's just, some people are
and that's true, because I've recorded a session with him where he's picking stuff out of the spirit box, and I'm like, I'm not getting this. But when I went back and reviewed the video, I'm like, oh, well, there it is. I didn't catch it. There it is.
Yeah. Trudy asks, do you think the Avolis ghost apps work because I get just random words? What do you guys think about the ghost apps on the phones?
I like EchoVox because it has absolutely no words in the programming. So it's just like phonetic sounds.
Yeah.
So I trust that a little bit more. And like the Necrocomms app.
I know which one
I'm 50,
about. Yeah.
50. But I mean, I've had results. Like I actually had the Necrocom app say Shaman like 4 times on an investigation.
Wow.
And I've never heard that come across. So
wow. Very cool.
So I was, Yeah,
that's awesome. That's
I
awesome.
think anything could work.
If
it's put together correctly, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Yeah. We're not talking shack hacks.
Right.
Yeah, no kidding.
Now, I like to use them, and I like to have a little bit of reverb with them. So I'll hear it for just a little bit, and then it'll start wrapping around with another word, and it actually comes out to make a sentence. I mean, too much, and then I'm like, I don't know what that's saying, but I like a little bit, so it'll wrap itself into a sentence, which you wouldn't really hear otherwise.
Right. So Trudy asked, so they all don't have a database of words.
No, some do. Yeah, you got to be careful. Yeah, some apps are just going to, they have a microphone feature, and then they can pick up some words that you're saying and randomly pick out devil or demon or throw just random stuff out there. So you do have to be careful.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I don't trust a lot of them. Like I said, the only two that I trust is the EchoVox and the Necrocom app.
I would agree. So we brought you on here tonight. We would like to talk about Native American and hauntings, and why some of the grounds are more so, I guess, tainted. Same thing with battlefields. What can you tell us about that?
Well, there's a lot, and I can speak specifically on the Cherokee because I'm a part of the Eastern Band of the Cherokee Nation. Oh, and when a lot of people say cursed land or whatever, it's not cursed; it's protected. I don't like that term cursed. The only reason bad things are going to happen is if you're trying to destroy the land or use it for purposes that it's not supposed to be. But I mean, and I got my research here for you guys. I got a couple of I got one famous Cherokee cursed land and one not so famous that we can talk about too, and I can go into that.
Yeah, let's
but
do it.
A lot of the cursed land starts back with the original treaties that were just ran all over by the settlers, especially in like Dahlonega, Georgia. where there was a huge Cherokee settlement. Well, that was part of the original treaty until they found gold in
Mhm.
Dahlonega. And so they broke that treaty, and that's one of the catalysts for the Trail of Tears, because they would,
Oh,
they would break promises because they found gold.
right. And
And
money is the root of
that
all
goes
evil.
back. Well, the first, the biggest and only genocide in America of natives was in California during the gold rush.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's not really talked about either. But like, I guess we'll start with one of the more famous ones, which is the Tennessee. It's in the Tennessee River Gorge, and the Tennessee River Valley, where the Tennessee Valley Authority dammed up, and it's the river, and the place is called the Suck.
Yeah.
It is
I-
a
I've heard of
reverse.
that.
It's a reverse whirlpool in the middle of a river that
Really?
the Cherokee. Yeah, supposedly we put it there because they were damming up the river. And what happens is, if you look into the whirlpool, you'll see your friends and family that have passed calling you to tell you to come into the whirlpool. And many people have succumbed to that. And once you go in that whirlpool, you don't come out.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
So, and this all started, and I've got some notes because I want to make sure I get dates right. But in 1898, in the Chattanooga area, several businesses wanted to form like a Tennessee River Improvement association, so they could make a dam for hydroelectric power.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this stream was very important because that was part of our hunting land, and some of our ceremonial, extreme ceremonial lands. Well, when they built this dam in 1905, and when they did that, I didn't even notice I wrote this down. It dates, the original date of the dam was it was supposed to be finished in 1909. However, numerous difficulties, including plagues on the workers, like sickness, plague,
Mm-hmm.
would stop the workers. The dam broke 3 times. Uh, the only lock to the powerhouse in 1910 for them to get in and have it working somehow couldn't be opened.
Mm-hmm.
And see, this is where the term cursed land comes from. It's not cursed. You're doing the wrong thing to the land. So the spirits that we have asked to protect this land is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. You're not supposed to mess with this land.
Right.
Um,
Robbie asked real
but-
quick, is this connected to the
Yeah.
LBL in any way?
There are theories about that. The LBL in Kentucky, right? Or the one in Tennessee?
It's Kentucky, Tennessee, both, I believe.
Yeah. So when I think LBL, I think more of the Kentucky side, but that's the same river. Same river.
Okay.
Well, okay, no, it's a tributary to the river in Kentucky, but basically same river. I mean, if it runs into one, we consider it all the same river.
Right.
So, but I'm trying to think. The river goes from Chattanooga to the Nick Jack Reservoir, which runs through the LBL. So yeah, it's the same sacred river.
Wow.
So I mean,
like Robbie
would
said,
say
that would
that there's a
explain a
lot.
lot.
Yeah, with all the cryptid sightings, the hauntings, with all the reports going on, yeah, that would make sense that it would continue, in the river, that it would kind of like spread.
Yeah.
It would seem.
Have you ever been to the LBL?
I have. I've camped out there a couple times.
Anything weird ever happened to you? We have a lot of friends who are in the cryptid world that have been there and have had a lot of encounters there. Everything from seeing the cryptids to orbs, and like hauntings
Um,
and things like that.
I have seen the Dogman, but what's weird to white people, quote unquote, it's not exactly weird to me because I grew up on the reservation and we've got dogmen there. They're the protectors of our land. Like,
Okay.
and I grew up with seeing Bigfoot and the elders talking about Bigfoot. So,
Mhm.
It's not exactly strange to me to see stuff like that. But
Right.
yes, I have. I've seen. I haven't exactly been face to face with the dogmen. Because we don't want to be. I mean, there's a reason why
Right.
there's a reason why in our language they're called the wolf with long teeth.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But what was your experience? Can you tell us about what happened?
Yeah. So I guess I was heading in to set up camp. It was about I hiked in about 4 miles into the LBL, right, getting close to where the land between the rivers. Like
I've never been, so I
there's a
don't really
small
know.
or a large. Well, okay. You've got the two rivers coming in, and they kind of go out, and then there's a large open area in the middle of the two rivers.
Okay.
And I mean, it's perfect flat. It's flat ground. It's perfect for camping. Like you can fish. So I was heading into there. Well, you have to come out of the woods to get to the clearing. And right before I hit that clearing, I heard what I thought was a really big deer. Like just sounded like it was jumping. And I looked and I caught the back end of the dogman.
Wow.
And yeah, so I was
Did
like,
he
well,
have
I'm
a
not going
tail,
that
or
way.
can you describe the color, or anything like that?
It was longer fur, dark brownish in color, and I just kind of caught the back end of the legs, which sort of, I mean, they were wolf like, but a lot bigger.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I personally have never been, but I know quite a few who have, and like I said, they've had everything from like orbs and people believe there's portals out there, and just all kinds of crazy things. So I believe anything's possible, and if it's tied to the Native American, why wouldn't all that crazy stuff happen out there? For sure.
Well, getting back to,
and energy follow. Well, and it.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, getting back to the whirlpool part.
I was just going to say, well, energy naturally. Yeah.
We have a little bit of a lag.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, he froze up again.
I noticed.
That's what you get for being on an island.
Am I coming back? Am I back? No, what's that?
You're kind of cutting out. You're cutting out on us a little bit. Are you there?
All right, let's.
I'm hoping he get. It's got to be hard to have a signal out there.
Hey, Robbie, I see you're out there. Do you want to jump on here with us too? Because I know you know more about the LBL than Brandy and I.
Well, because I was wondering about when he's talking about the whirlpool thing, and they say that you can see faces of your family members in it.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if that is the protectors projecting that,
yeah,
to get you out of there, or it's hard to say, or is that some type of evil entity, malicious?
I don't know.
Just trying to do harm.
Yeah, could very well be. Could very well be. I just messaged Robbie to see if he wanted to. Okay.
That's all right. He'll come back in.
He said he can. Give him a minute to get out to the shop. So I'm going to send him the link real quick.
Because most of the horror stories on TV, I mean, think about it. They all begin with ancient Indian burial grounds. I can't even tell
Absolutely.
you how many times,
Yeah.
that you hear that, most of these stories begin with ancient, Indian burial grounds. And I'm like, what? Why does it always have to be that? you know?
Right. Right. Exactly. Exactly.
And if you want to look up more about the whirlpool, look up Hales, Hales Bar Dam,
Okay.
and that's the name of the dam that the Tennessee Valley Electric Valley Authority put, and that's where the whirlpool is. And they used to do ghost tours.
Really?
That was until one of the guides got possessed by. We have a guardian, quote unquote, demon spirit that we call dresses in stone. It's Tsel Kutlao, and he lives in a cave that is out there.
Well,
And yeah,
yeah, because I was talking about that when you cut out. I was like, well, who's actually projecting these visions of your family in this pool? I mean, are we talking something that could be malicious or evil, or are we just talking protectors? Or, I mean, because if you're out there not doing a thing and just looking around and all of a sudden you see this,
Yeah.
I
well,
mean,
I think once it was put into effect, it does its job, and it does its job very well, and it doesn't care who you are.
or what you're doing.
It's kind of like you ever seen the movie Pumpkinhead?
Yes.
Okay, there you go. That's how I envision this spirit. Once you pull him up, he's gonna do his job.
Yeah.
Oh,
What do you?
But he's not like, it's hard to say the word demon because in Cherokees, they're neither good nor bad. Like this same entity is called up whenever we did stickball games or we went hunting. It was like we called up the same entity to bless the hunt or bless the games. So, but that's who is supposedly out in the caves, and he's the guardian of the river.
Wow, that's interesting.
So are they referring to him more as a demon, or, I mean,
I would say folklore refers to him that way.
okay,
And
yeah.
if you want me to spell his name for you so you can look him up,
Yes, please.
It's TSUL, and then the second word KALU.
Okay.
And you should be able to look him up. There's all kind of folklore and native sites. Like First Nation is a wealth of Native American knowledge. FirstNation.com.
Okay.
Write this down.
And they'll talk a lot about that.
Okay.
And then like there's another cursed area, and we can get back to the whirlpool as well, but I want to throw this out. It is a place right outside of Savannah, Georgia called Barnsley Gardens.
Barnsley Gardens.
Yep. It's actually in Adairsville, Georgia, which is 20-30 minutes from Savannah.
Okay.
A rich cotton plantation owner took this land over. I'll just give you the quick bio. I mean, and I've got info on that as well, so I make sure I got everything right. But basically, in a nutshell, the plantation owner wanted this land, and he got really rich really quick. Well, this was ceremonial land and burial grounds for the Cherokee. Oh, and he pretty much went to war with them over this land. So a curse on him and his family in 7 generations was placed on this land, which I believe is now a golf course, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, wow.
Golf course.
A golf course?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
A golf course? That
Yeah.
sounds about right.
But in 1989, here's the cool part. In 1989, we had Cherokee shamans go back to this land to undo the curse.
Was it successful?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah. I mean, there's still lots of residual and lots of hauntings, but we believe in 7th generation curses.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it was about the time that the payment was paid. So it was time to undo it.
So can you explain what a 7th generation curse is?
Yeah. So natives in general, we believe that anything we do will affect the land or the tribe or the people for the next 7 generations. So anything that we do, we try to play chess instead of checkers. You know,
Gotcha.
if we're going to settle somewhere, we want to be able to have this land for the next 7 generations.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how that's where the whole 7 generation comes from. So everything is in 7s, basically.
Brandon, this is our friend Robbie. He's into like the cryptids and all that good stuff, and he knows more about the LBL and all that kind of stuff than Brandy or myself. So I thought, you know what, we're kind of talking some cryptid stuff too. So bring him in.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, man, good to meet you.
Nice to meet you, man.
Well, have you ever had to do any cleansings or anything like that to remove a malicious spirit or anything?
You talking to me?
Yes.
I haven't.
I didn't know. Maybe I was about to learn something. I mean, I have, and that's part of the initiation and the training. But I haven't been called out to do like what they did in 1989 with the gardens. I mean, I do it kind of on a regular basis with the paranormal team, the small cleansings and whatnot. But yeah, I know how to lift generational curses. It's just I just haven't. There's more powerful people in out there than I am, and that I will probably ever be. So they probably go to those guys.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. So were you raised on a reservation?
I was actually raised in Cherokee, North Carolina.
Wow.
Before it was nice.
Mm-hmm.
Before it was nice.
Yeah, there wasn't any. We didn't have casinos and all that. We had the liquor stores and the shootings, and the res was pretty rough.
Gotcha.
But then we moved away to South Carolina, and so when I would do my training, my elder, her name was Diane Little Sparrow, and every summer I'd go back up, and stay with her. So I would go back and forth to the res after we moved away, up until 2003 when she passed away.
Wow.
So, and it was kind of a sad story because that was when I went to Iraq for the invasion, and she gave me a hug and she said, "Come see me when you get back."
Mm-hmm.
But she had that look on her face, like, but I didn't pay any mind. So as soon as I got back, I went up because she owned a small little store in Gatlinburg, and I walked in, and they called me by my Cherokee name, which is Usteyona, which means little bear, and they're like, "Uste, have you heard?" I'm like, "No, what?" And so then they told me that she had died like 2 weeks before I was able to get there.
How sad.
Yeah, it still hurts, and that was in 2003. But
yeah, I can only imagine. That's awful. That's awful.
But
well, I know that you well, how should I put it? You have a type of healing. I don't want to say power, but a healing touch or a energy giver or something like that. I've actually watched you do that. I thought that was pretty cool. A friend of ours, Jessica Potter, was just running a little low. She just, it was like she didn't have the energy, the go-go juice, and she's a psychic medium, and she had to give readings, and she just didn't have it in her.
Poor thing.
Here comes Brandon. Saved the day.
I don't know.
Gave her all the juice she needed.
Well,
I gotta tell you, Brandon, though, seriously, when she got there that second day on Saturday, she was like, thank God Brandon's here. That's what she told me.
you know,
Before
and
we
I
before we
don't.
get into that, I do have to say she has a message for you that she wanted me to ask you. And she says something about you and the lucky cricket. Do you know anything about the lucky cricket?
Somebody was coming through, huh?
Yeah.
I did.
And she said
Yeah.
it was for you,
That
lucky
was one of the.
cricket.
That would be one of the guys that I served with in the military that has since crossed over. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep.
Yeah, I wrote that down from when I talked to her. She goes, yeah, if you talk to him, ask him about the lucky cricket.
Oh Lord, was it that show that I tuned into that show? And wow, you've been holding on to that message for a while.
Yeah,
Well,
I've been holding on for a minute.
that kind of made my day. I've been missing that individual. So that yeah.
Oh, good.
That's
Now
message.
I can tell her I told you because I've been holding on to it. There's a few little things, I write them down and I'm like, when I see them again, I'm going to ask them, and I keep it in my book right here.
Yeah. That made my night. Thank you very much.
Good. I'm glad. So tell me how does it feel when you do that? I mean, I mean, I'm all new to this type of thing, but how does it feel like when you do give somebody the energy or the healing touch? What exactly is going on?
I guess the easiest way to put it is everything works on vibrations. Everything. Energy works is really no different. The easiest way to put it is let's just say your lower back hurts, right? I will see that vibration and that energy spinning a certain way. And I have to match that hypothetical spiral with a vibration from my body in the reverse order. I'm trying to do this as visually as possible to explain it because it's really weird.
So it'll kind of intertwine together, is
right?
What you're saying,
and it will fix. That's the way that energy's turning or vibrating.
More or less, it'll cancel it out. If it's spinning clockwise, you guys spinning counterclockwise.
Yeah, there you go.
It'll cancel it out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you for that one. I was struggling a little bit to get that visual out there.
What are we here for?
But oh, and I see a thin blue line back there. Were you law enforcement?
I am.
Well, thank you, brother. Hey, a lot of people don't give a damn about y'all, but I do. So thank you so much for what you do.
That's the truth.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you both. For sure.
Oh, I'm done serving. He's still out there putting his butt on the line.
Yeah, but you are a veteran, so we definitely appreciate that too. And definitely we do appreciate Robbie too and all the other law enforcement officers out there for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But yeah, energy work is I don't know. That's just my natural talent. But yeah, it really does. It works on vibration, and people that do energy work, like Reiki masters, there's a lot of different styles of energy work, and it actually connects me more to nature, and it helps me to ground quicker, to speak to nature because the panpsychism, everything has a consciousness,
right?
So.
Now with you being a shaman, do you think that helps you see like cryptids easier or to see spirits easier or anything like that? Do you think that helps?
I would think so. To what degree, I don't know. But it does definitely, it'll help me sense things a lot, especially like the hairy man. Because he puts off a hell of a vibration.
Have you encountered him more than once?
Yeah, knocks. Definitely a lot of knocks, and especially in the woods around the reservation. The smell is atrocious. I've smelled that. I've smelled that, a handful of times, in my life.
Right.
But like I say, when you grow up and it's not a myth, it's a fact. You just don't really pay that much attention to it. You just know you know, okay, the hairy man and his family live over here. Don't go over here.
Right. Right.
So, but I mean, yeah, you run into them a good bit, especially around reservations, because their purpose is to protect.
Yeah. Do
in
you?
my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I hear encounters. You know, I've talked to people who have had positive experiences with them, and I've talked to some that have had negative experiences with them. You know, what do you believe? Do you believe there's different kinds out there, or they were just in the wrong place at the wrong time, or?
I think there's several different, just like, you know, we all have different personalities. I think there's several different personalities and several different types. You know, I really don't have a truth to base this on. This is just opinion.
Right.
But, and I also think that the way that the person's intentions when they go in, especially if they're out there squatching, I think that they can pick up on the intentions.
Right.
And if it's the slightest bit nefarious, you're gonna probably have a bad encounter. But you know what? I want to ask the cryptic expert here because I like to. Where's he at? I like to hear other people's opinions on it because, like I say, I just grew up and it was fact that there are dog men, and it's fact that there's hairy man. So I've never gotten to see it from the other side of, you know, is this a mythical creature?
Well,
So
first off, I'm no expert. I'm just, you know, I'm just a guy who had an encounter when I was a kid and has had a couple encounters as an adult. Loved it my whole life. DA and I got to be friends. I got to be friends with Krista and Brandy. I'm just a fat old police officer who kind of enjoys the cryptid stuff. And I've gotten into the paranormal stuff since I've got to be friends with them. And second, you know, my great grandmother was just a little over half Cherokee, so I know some of the myths and legends. You know, I'm nowhere near as versed in it as you are because I didn't grow up on the reservation like you did. I grew up in Pickens County, South Carolina. So
wait a minute, hold on, time out, brother. I live in Easley.
Really?
Yeah.
So we're neighbors. Didn't even know it.
How about that?
I live in
Small
Easley.
world.
See why we called him out?
I mean,
you know what? We'll have to talk after this. Yeah. Anyway, sorry I interrupted you.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Go ahead, neighbor.
You know,
That's you know, that's why we call them on. I'm like, well, they're both from South Carolina. We put them on.
just didn't know how close we were from each other.
I mean, I live over by Rock Springs, so that should tell you something.
Rock Springs is about 10 minutes from my house.
Yeah. Okay. We're neighbors.
Yeah.
Wow. Small world.
Yep.
That is crazy.
So, but back to the cryptid thing, I agree with the fact that I'm not so sure of the spiritual part because I didn't grow up in that part of it like you did. So I think more or less they are very intelligent and they have been around so long, they know and can kind of pick up, you know, it's just like a dog. Dogs can pick up on what kind of person you are too. And I think it's a lot like that. I think they pick up on, you know, they see people in the woods with guns all day long, all year long, things like that. They know the ones that are in there using guns for protection versus the ones that are in there, like you said, for nefarious purposes. And that's my take on it. But like I said, I didn't. That's the opposite, like you just said. That's the opposite take of it. Mm-hmm. And you know, but I'm never going to be the one to say, well, my way is right, because nobody knows. It's all speculation.
Exactly.
You know, and conjecture. So, you know, that's just my opinion of it. Is they're just a very intelligent animal, and maybe even a little bit above animal or actually a lot above animal intelligence, but almost to the point of sentience, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Doug, real quick, asked, do the Native Americans have a spokesperson or liaison with the hairy men? Do they have special training to form that bond?
Good question. very good question. And
It is.
the short answer is yes. Yes, yes.
Okay.
I figured they did. You know,
Yeah.
I got to
Um,
have someone out there to say, hey, you know, we'll stay over here and you stay over there, and this is how we are, and we're
Yeah.
all good.
And it's generally the shaman's job to do that. They are generally from the Paint clan of the Cherokee. And that's about as far into details as I can give you, but I think I gave you enough to where
Yeah.
you can go down that rabbit hole and look it up.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Awesome. Okay.
I'm sure that is a big rabbit hole.
Yeah, it is, but just remember Paint clan.
Okay.
And then
Write it down.
you'll be able to go down that rabbit hole.
All right, I wrote it down.
I did
Of course,
too.
I also believe that the Air Force. I mean, I kind of fall into the conspiracy theorist some too, but I think the Air Force has been in contact with them since the 1960s, and there's some proof of that out there. If you want to go down that rabbit hole too, I got a buddy of mine that he's one of those conspiracy cryptid fellers, and he almost had me convinced about that one.
Kind of like that too.
Yeah.
Well, you know, DA's got a buddy that's in SF, and when his book started really hitting the wild hunt and all that kind of stuff, he's like, "Hey, where are you getting your information from?" DA was like, "What do you mean?"
Yep.
So
Yeah.
you're making some people nervous.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot more. There's a lot more out there.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Just trying to read through the comments.
And I've got one of my elders that I do sweat lodge with is Lakota, and he believes, and he's written a book about it, but he believes that so our brain has the split down the middle, the left brain, right brain. He believes that their brain does not have a left brain, right brain. It is all one unit. And so therefore they can use much more of their brain capacity than we can. Our brains developed the left brain, right brain after we decided to part ways from the hairy man and come and live in cities or move out from the woods, which leads me to believe that they are indeed a trans-dimensional being.
Mhm. I hear that a lot, actually. I've heard a lot of people say that they believe
That would
they
explain a lot. I mean, because a human has to take time to use the left or the right side, you know, to determine what they're going to do. Where what you're saying is that this would be just one whole the whole brain would do everything, just
Everything.
right at once. There's no shift in between what side sparks. It's all the same.
Yep.
Mhm.
And
Wow.
he has gotten that theory from years of sweat lodge and meditation and some other things. Like I said, he is my elder, so he's been there, done that a lot longer than me. Hopefully one day I will reach the knowledge he has, but he has shared that with me, and I will get you a link to his book that he wrote.
That'd be great.
But yeah, I mean, and it makes perfect sense. Because when we do sweat lodge, sometimes in your head, when you reach the place that we call the knowing, you'll hear a pop in your brain. And that is when the left brain and the right brain come together.
Gotcha.
And that's when all of the knowledge is there after you've reached the meditative part, you know, and that's where us as shamans, we can converse with the spirit world. So, you know, we have to do all that to get there. Well, they're already there. They're constantly there. So all they have to do is merely think. And, you know, they're, you know, from South Carolina, they could be like in Maine or Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Gotcha.
that's.
So why didn't you
And
tell
that's
me all
also where I think.
I was going to ask you, why didn't you tell me all this stuff when I met you back at the McIntyre? We could have talked all night.
Yeah. You didn't ask.
I guess
He
I
only
had to
gives
save
you little pieces.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my goal in life is to make you a better person after, leave you a better person than I found you, and B, keep you wanting to learn and learn on your own.
Absolutely.
So
That's awesome.
I'm just gonna give you a little bit.
Yeah, I hear you.
But
Well, I did.
I mean,
I did get a little bit of the Bigfoot side of him when we went to see the spook light and we're standing out in the middle of nowhere on a dirt road. You learn a
Yeah,
lot about a
it's-
person in the middle of the night on a dirt road.
yep.
Did you know that Brandy had an encounter that night? Brandy, tell them about it.
I don't know if I did or I didn't. You
You
know
did.
how I was last in line when we had the little convoy going. Well, I was last in line, and we were coming around the corners, and they were real sharp, and everybody was going so fast, and all the dust was just flying, and I couldn't see nothing. So
Right.
what I had done is I went ahead and I slowed down a lot to like a crawl because I couldn't see anything. And so I rolled my window down, and next thing you know, I'm because there wasn't barely enough room in some of those places for two cars to be next to each other. It's kind of like just like a lane and a half you have. Anyway, the forest was so dense on this one side, but I heard a big snap and like two steps when I was going that slow, and I'm looking and I'm like, well, that can't be anybody's cattle or anything. The farmers would have a fit, and the cattle ranchers have a fit with them cows being in that thick forest. They couldn't get them out. So I'm like, wait a minute. Okay. And then I know that there hasn't been a bear sighting in that area for like 2 or 3 years. Now, I'm not saying that it couldn't have been, but then I'm like, that is super loud. And I'm rolling down and I'm slowing down even more. And I'm like, you know what? I'm stupid. I'm in this car by myself.
Yeah.
Right here. This thing could jump out and there's nobody around me because I'm way in the back. So I rolled up my window and took off. I said, nope.
I mean,
and after what you were telling me and then what David Glidden were telling me about Bigfoot being in that area, I was like, no, I'm rolling my window up. I'm leaving now.
Well,
because
that was prime territory.
Yeah, it was. That forest was so dense. I mean, you couldn't see through it. And we were out that night and the moon was shining real bright and it was beautiful out. And you could see, but when you're looking into this part of the forest there, you couldn't see a thing. It was just as dark could get in there.
Yeah, and I know the section you were talking about, we had the window down and it was silent. Like nothing. You couldn't hear, I didn't hear crickets, nothing.
Well, couldn't that be a sign that there's a cryptid in the area?
Yeah, that's what I was getting to. Yeah, it could have been.
Well, then it very well could have been what I heard. Now, I didn't see it because I wasn't sticking around.
Well, when we got further down the road, then I started hearing crickets and, just regular night sounds. So it was just that one little, I know what you're talking about.
All right. Because like I said, I got a little freaked out there at the end because I was like, oh boy. I'm stupid. I got my window rolled down. I'm out here by myself and I'm trying, and I'm just crawling. I'm not going very fast, maybe like 8 miles an hour. I'm like, yeah, this thing would outrun me in a heartbeat. So, but that was my little encounter there.
Yeah, it may very well have been.
Right. The other thing I was going to ask you, and I'm trying to remember now because we went off into another thing like we always do.
That happens a lot when I'm around too. I will send you down a rabbit hole.
Right. Can you tell us about some haunted areas around where you are, where you live that are well known? Pay attention, Robbie.
Well, I'm going to hook you guys up, when we get out of here.
Yeah, because Robbie needs to be introduced.
Well, and what was it? Last month, I investigated the Pickens County Museum.
Well, I tell you, he was going to say something that I've already told you. Remember, Brandon?
Yeah.
When I was telling you about.
Yeah, because he just told us about this story.
Because without naming the agency that I work for, the agency that is in that jurisdiction.
Yes, sir.
So that was actually my weekend of work, so I actually saw your crew up there going in and out.
Okay, I was fishing. I was going to come over there and try to interview y'all, but it was night shift. I would not be bothering y'all, but So we were there at Pickens County Museum for the whole weekend. We stayed there, and man, there is all kind of stuff that's going on in that place.
I've got a show too, and one of the guys that's with me, he called them to see if we could do it, and they wouldn't even talk to us. So I'm like, okay, cool, thanks, appreciate it.
I don't know why Dave, old DJ over there, he's a pretty cool cat.
I don't know who Norm got in touch with, so he said.
Well, see, now, Bobby, you know someone that
I can get y'all in there. And then, in March, I'm having a Paracon at Haygood Mill. Oh, yeah, March 24th through the 26th.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could just we record our show on Tuesday nights at Market at the Mill. We might just have you come in on our show and just talk about it one night then.
Man, I'd love to. I'm just now getting flyers and stuff together, so I'll be dropping some off Monday down there at the museum. So I'll swing by the old jurisdiction where you so happen to be. And
it ain't a far travel from
no,
from there.
Not at all. I know it. Yeah. It's a small damn world. I mean, I'm sorry.
It is.
It is.
But like, I mean, there's so much history in South Carolina. That's why I'm so surprised that there's not a lot more Paracons and stuff. Because if you really think about history and you break it down, this is where the U.S. basically started on the East Coast. Every single war that was fought on this land started here on the East Coast. We're one of the original 13 colonies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and there's
a lot of Civil War battles in this state
all over. Oh, and then not only that, then you bring in with the dark times with slavery. Well, what did they bring over? Voodoo, hoodoo, other rituals. All of it right here. You've got your own branch down where I'm at right now, the Gullahs. And the Gullahs are still a huge community down here. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you caught it, but I'm down at Seabrook Island over by John's Island.
Yep. I heard you when you first came out.
Yeah. So, I mean, and that culture is still thriving.
Oh, yeah. It sure is. Last time I was down there, I mean, that's all you see or hear is. Yeah. If you
don't know how to understand Geechee, then you're not going to be able to get around down here.
Yep. Brandy and Chris are like, what are they talking about?
No idea.
It's a slave culture that came over from Africa, and they're called the Gullahs.
And Geechee is actually more or less
their
like
language.
Dialect.
Yep. It's sort of like Spanglish, but not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's got mixes of English and African and just it's a dialect all its own.
Gotcha.
Oh,
okay.
I would assume it'd be kind of like Cajun is.
Close. It's kind of close.
Yeah. It's got a whole melting pot of dialects and everything in it, so I can imagine.
It's a whole different world. I've got Cajun relatives too, so that's a whole different pot of worms right there.
Yeah, oh man. But
and I literally mean a pot of worms. They'll probably cook them.
Yeah, they'll eat them.
Yeah.
Oh. No.
Well, like shrimp and grits, the dish shrimp and grits. That's Gullah. That's from South Carolina. They eat that that's their Christmas morning meal is shrimp and grits.
Wow, that's different.
So that's where if you've never had shrimp and grits, God help you. Y'all just come on over here and we'll feed you some shrimp and grits.
Never had it.
I think I'm gonna have to because I haven't had them together.
Oh no. My God. And plus there's a gravy that goes with it. Yeah, y'all listen, in March, come on.
Wow.
My daughter doesn't live very far from Hilton Head, I think about 20-30 minutes to the west of it. So I've been seriously thinking about going to that Paracon because, like I said, I can see her and come see y'all and everything.
Well, come on. We'd love to have you. We have 50 acres to to investigate. Like we have that entire, we got the whole place to ourselves. It's 50 plus acres.
Wow, that's awesome.
So, and it's
That's
never
awesome.
been investigated before. So
you're going to investigate both nights out there, Friday night and Saturday night, correct?
Yep.
Wow.
And if you
Have
buy
you-
the VIP tickets, you can investigate both nights. Little plug for my ticket sales.
Have you had any experiences out there?
Personally, yes. And I get the biggest feelings around the petroglyph site. And those petroglyphs date back around 10,000 years, 10,000 plus years. But the Bunkum Trail runs straight through the Haygood Mill, and that was where the Cherokee and the other tribes of the area, they would go from their permanent locations up to North Carolina for the hunting grounds and the hunting season. So that original trail runs straight through Haygood Mill. So not only do you have the native history, there was a plantation about 2 miles up the road from Haygood Mill, and their slaves would walk 2 miles and work the mill. And they had a tannery, a blacksmith, like everything this was your one-stop shop back then. So, and they just found the slave graveyard. It's over in that cow field. I think you probably know about the area.
Yeah, well, my dad lives up there next where Holly Springs School is.
Yep.
Or the old Holly Springs School. My dad lives about a mile back this way from the school. So he lives in between Holly Springs School and Haygood Mill.
Yep. And they found the slave graveyard. They had no idea that it was there. It was lost to time, and they just had their cattle out there grazing until one of the descendants of the slaves did some research, and then they found it. So now they're trying to preserve it. But I mean, there's just tons and tons of history.
Wow. I have a quick question for you. Doug asked, how many years of training to be a shaman?
Lifetime. But to even be considered, at least on the native side, 20. At least 20.
Okay. I have another question, and this one's for Robbie. Janelle wants to know, do you have a show? Can you tell them what your show is and where it's located, where they can find it?
It's What's Really Out There. We pre-record it, and I try to release one on every Monday and Friday. We've got 20 episodes right now, and we talk about everything from Bigfoot, ghosts, to the Bermuda Triangle. We've done a show on the Lost Colony of Roanoke. Just kind of a catch-all show. Sometimes we'll take stuff that we do on DAX Machina, and we'll put a little bit more different spin on it and talk about some stuff that we might not have got a chance to talk about on that show. But for the most part, we just we stick to stuff mostly around the upstate and the surrounding areas, but we'll branch out and talk about different things, obviously, with Bermuda Triangle and things like that.
Kind of like this show, huh?
Yeah. I was going to say, I've listened to you.
You can find it on Spreaker and iHeartRadio and Spotify. It's like I said, it's What's Really Out There.
You're on YouTube too.
Yeah. It's linked to the YouTube channel too. So
yeah, because I've listened on YouTube.
I always forget that it's on the YouTube channel too, because we started that about halfway through. So
yeah.
Yes, you're right, Chris. Thank you.
Yep.
Somebody knows their history.
Yeah.
What about the giants from the Cherokees? Yes, we do have we have our stories, which is this is how the Blue Ridge Mountains, one of the ways that it was made is the giants it was from the giants' footprints. There's also a giant snake that we have, and it slithered and created all the mountains. But yes, it is historical. I'm just going to call it fact. There was a race of giants that lived in the Appalachian and the Blue Ridge Mountains. There was also a race of red-headed cannibalistic giants that were in the Midwest. Basically, they were at war with, I think, the Cheyenne and a couple of others. and the tribes had to come together, and they lived in a cave by one of the lakes, and all the tribes came together and blocked that cave up and lit a fire and smoked them all out. But yeah, there is a race of giants that once lived around here, and I mean it's just huge in the culture. And I can't remember who put that up, but great question. You kind of know you kind of know your Cherokee history. Kind of makes me want to know a little bit more about you. I mean, who? Unless you're from around here, you don't know the story of the giants. But so that was a great question.
And D.A. Roberts said, and the giant turtle.
The Firebringer. Yes. The giant turtle and the water beetle. If it was not for those two, we would not have fire.
Wow.
Because there was in the beginning, there was a tree of fire on an island, and the fox and the bear tried because they were strong and cunning, but could not get out there. Well, the water beetle jumped on the turtle's back and went out there. And because of the beetle's shell, he was able to bring an ember from that tree back and ride back across and brought us fire, which created the Cherokee people. We are the people of the fire.
Very cool.
Just I mean, there's much more to that story, and it's a very elaborate creation story. But yeah, the turtle and the water beetle are huge.
Yeah, very cool. So I know you're a paranormal investigator. Are you? Do you ever go out and look for the cryptids, or just kind of if you happen upon them, okay? But are you ever out there looking for them? I think Brandon froze up again. Mention
okay.
the C word.
And he's stuck.
Hang on.
Okay.
We're still here. We just froze.
Hold on a second.
Here
Hang
we
on.
go
I'm
again,
coming
Kristen.
back. I'm coming
Okay.
back.
That's funny.
It's
I'm
kind of
coming
like
back.
he goes into a trance
coming
and
back.
then, okay, I'm back. All right.
Right.
Yes. Stupid shaman screwing up the show with your mouth.
There he's gone now.
But I'm back.
He's transdimensional.
Only-
That way. He's transdimensional.
It's like, maybe he found the portal. I don't know. And
He's back. He froze again.
he froze.
and he froze again. And we don't
Did
hear
he
him.
not promise us that new hotspot was not going to do this?
Right.
He'll
Right.
probably have to go back out and come back in again.
Yeah.
Oh, that made me tear up a little. There he is.
Stupid
Choking me
garden
up.
gnome.
Yeah. Just saying.
It's because I'm a garden gnome. Luckily, Travelocity let me off for the weekend so I could go do something because I'm tired of filming those Travelocity commercials.
Never roam alone.
Never roam alone. I'm telling I'm just saying. But okay, so to answer your cryptid question, I've always been more interested in the paranormal.
Mhm.
But the more and more that I do this, the more I want to get other opinions on cryptids. So I'm starting to branch out into the cryptid thing. Just like I say, I grew up and it was real. So, like you don't go out there looking for a white-tailed deer because, but
Mhm.
because it's there, you know it exists. But
Right.
the more that I meet people that didn't grow up that way, the more interested I am, more interested in it I am.
Yeah.
Not so much of the cryptid because I know that they exist.
Yeah.
I believe like 100%, but the stories behind it and the culture, the different cultures and this, that's what I'm interested in. The different histories of the sightings and the connections with, the hairy man. And, we have a cryptid here in South Carolina that y'all probably didn't know. We got the lizard man.
Mhm.
Oh, yes, I do.
There's
Yep.
man,
Yes, I
escape from the
do.
swamp,
Yep.
Bishop
Yep.
County.
Yeah, and Bishop. Yep. And I mean, he's destroyed cars. There's pictures.
I did a show on that one.
Oh, did you? Yeah,
Mhm.
I love that one. But so I mean, I am interested and I like hearing other people. Like I've on my show, maybe I can plug this real quick since we're talking cryptids. Sunday, I'm gonna have Carter Burchard on
Hmm.
on my show, and he is with Buffon, and uh, he spoke at the Paracon that we were at. So
Yeah, I talked to
that's
him.
that's gonna be my first foray into cryptid. So
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a really super nice guy.
yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
is.
is.
Yeah.
he is.
And I've
sure.
read, I've got 2 of his books. He's got another one coming out, but I've been able to read almost all of his first one. They're
Yeah.
they're super thick books
Mhm.
and super informative.
Yeah,
So
he was
yeah.
he was a super nice guy. I went over and talked to him at the Haunted Paracon, and I enjoyed talking to him.
Yeah, I can't wait to interview him.
Yeah, what and that's on Sunday?
Yeah, Shaman Sundays on the Bill of Rights Network.
Mhm.
Also on my Facebook, Shaman Sundays, on the Supernatural Inc. page, YouTube, Spotify. That's about as far as I've gotten. But
Yeah.
it's every Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern.
And you do live shows too. I know you do because I've watched some of your shows.
Yeah, generally I try to do live. I'm having to pre-record some people. Like I've got Sarah Lemos.
Mhm.
I'm recording with her Monday.
Yeah,
But I try to do if I can live just because
Yeah.
I enjoy doing the live. I like having people, being able to comment and I can answer questions, and
you tell Sarah that I said hello.
I will do that.
Because let me tell you something. So this has been 10 years ago. I was in her very first class. She helped me when nobody else would. This is before she was ever on TV or any of that. So we had stayed in touch throughout the years, and then here at McIntyre, we finally met face to face, and we immediately recognized each other, and it was awesome. So you tell her I said hi.
I will, and I'm privileged. I'm going to be in her Pathways class. My wife and I
Yep, it's a
are
great class.
taking Pathways in January.
Mhm.
So
When I
you know,
started out with her, we did it. It was like an 8-week course, and it was on Zoom. That's been a long time ago. And Pathways was new. She had just started that on Facebook. So, yeah, it was kind of cool. Yeah, she helped me a lot.
yeah, I definitely will. I will make sure to tell her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Tell her,
such a
tell her to look me up because we'd like to have her here on Blondes too.
yeah. I'll tell her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have to stay on her. She's super, super busy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
but I mean, she'll answer on her Facebook.
Well, I actually years ago she gave me her phone number, and when we were at McIntyre, I was like, "Look, is this still your number?" She's like, "It is. Keep it." So I still have her number. I'll just text her.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Send her a
But
text.
here's a question for Robbie. Robbie, does your last name start with an R?
It does.
I know you.
Did he arrest you, Brandon?
No. I think we know each other. You just wouldn't recognize me with a beard.
Hmm.
Do you remember Josh Blair?
Yes.
He would.
Josh was my partner for a while.
I know. I was the one that was at his house all the time.
Okay. I do. I probably remember him talking or saying your name then.
I worked with him at Greenville County.
Okay.
Yep.
Then I'm sure I've heard him say your name.
Yeah, because I got to looking at you. I was like, I know you, but I don't know you. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I didn't have all this probably.
Yeah. See, and I didn't have this either back then.
Yeah, they let us grow.
Small world.
I was going to say, this world's getting smaller and smaller. We
Yeah,
just
it's
keep
getting smaller and
talking.
smaller.
Right.
Yep.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, because I remember him mentioning you all the time because y'all was partners.
Yep. Yeah, he's down in the lower part of the state now, somewhere down around. Where was he the last time I talked
Myrtle
to him?
Beach or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, somewhere around there. He's out of law enforcement though.
I hadn't talked to him in years. Like most things in life, we grew two different ways, but he's a good feller. Anyway, sorry, the small world thing. I got to staring at the screen, and I'm like, I know him.
That's got one of them faces.
Yeah, right.
Okay,
And no,
I've got a question.
No, he didn't arrest me. Last time I was arrested, I was.
I was kidding. I was kidding.
That wasn't my question.
Okay, good.
All right, so this Paracon that you're putting on,
Yeah.
this is with Raven Paranormal?
Yeah, Raven Paranormal is a team out of North Carolina and South Carolina. They're based out of Myrtle Beach. Jennifer is the founder of Raven, and they're a pretty awesome team. I stumbled across them when they were going to do the Pickens County Museum. It popped up, and so I reached out like a weird stalker feller, and I was like, "Hey, I'm with Supernatural Inc., Katie Stafford, blah blah blah. I'd love to, if you guys need any help or would like to borrow equipment, let me know." And that's just as far as I was going to do. You know, I was going to let them get some spirit boxes or whatever. And she did her due diligence and checked me out because, you know, there's some weird people in the paranormal.
Of course.
And so yeah, I got invited to actually come out and do that investigation with them. And I like them. They're a good team. They've recently had some changes in personnel, but you know, that's none of my business.
It happens.
Yeah, it's none of my business, but whatever, you know, whatever works. But so I asked them, because they're such a young team, if they would like to help out with this Paracon so they can, you know, get some exposure with some different people, get their name out there, and then
Right.
you know, learn how to run a Paracon. And then next year, hopefully I will be helping them run theirs. I love Paranormal Unity at any time, you know, because I was blessed with, you know, I paid my dues in the paranormal world, and then one thing led to another, and now, you know.
Well, he froze up.
Whoops. Dang it. I was listening to what he said.
I know, I was too. I could hear. Had to take a potty break and give me some more to drink.
Yeah, I know. It's almost time for me to take a potty break. I went through a coffee and a Pepsi now.
Yep.
I still have some.
There you go. Well, let's see if he comes back.
He will in just a second. I think we still have a picture of him. That's good.
Yeah.
He's coming through the other dimension this time.
Mm-hmm.
He'll pop in.
You know, really.
Hey.
Yay!
See, told you.
I know, right? I've learned that every so often I have to disconnect and reconnect from this little hotspot thing.
Yeah.
But you know what? For being on a secluded island down here on the coast, I'm actually quite pleased with this little hotspot. So
Yeah, that's what I said earlier. I said, with you being out there on an island, I'm sure that's got to be horrible.
oh, I mean, literally in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
I didn't know this place existed until I came down here.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
So
Crazy.
what were we? Oh, we were talking about Raven.
Yes.
So yeah, but I can't remember where I left off. But basically, I like them. They're a very good team, and I want to help them get some exposure so they can, you know, they can get out there and hit some of the cool spots that we all take for granted, like Pythian or Ashmore, or you know, we're trying to get access to Fort Sumter down here in South Carolina. And Robbie, if we get that, I'm gonna bring y'all with me.
I'd love to go down there.
I'm in talks with them right now, and it looks pretty good to be able to get that. And I've also got access to the USS Yorktown. So we can do Yorktown too. Yeah, I'm trying to open doors here in South Carolina. It's about time that, I mean, first of all, the prerequisite to be a Southerner is you have to believe in the paranormal, whether you say it or not. I mean, because everybody's grandmama and grandpapa, they told you about them ghosts.
Yep.
But they also said, now you can't go telling nobody.
Don't be talking about that in public.
Right. Yeah, that makes us look bad, boy. Um, but so I just want to be able to open it up, just because there's so many people around here that love paranormal, but
Right.
it's such a taboo kind of in the Bible Belt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and plus I'm tired of driving 13 plus hours to ghost hunt.
Yeah.
That's probably the biggest thing.
When you come back to Kansas City, how far do you? How long of a drive is it for you?
13, right at 13 hours 45 minutes.
13 hours. Okay.
So I always stop at either Fort Campbell or Fort Knox and stay on base. That's about 6.5 hours up, and then another 5.5 to get to Kansas City.
Gotcha. Okay. I seen you're coming back to the McIntyre. Did I see that?
Am I?
Yeah, I thought I seen a flyer.
I don't know. Look, Katie, they tell me what to do and I do it.
Okay. Well, I swear
I mean,
seen a flyer.
I know that we have 3 Paracons next year, one in Eureka Springs, one in Overland Park, and then one in Kansas City.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, I may be coming back to the McIntyre. I don't know.
I swear I seen a flyer like just the other day with it. So
I mean, maybe you know something I don't, but I mean, I'm sure I'm coming back to the McIntyre. I don't know when, but
yeah, we're going next year in I think it's first part of June. We'll be back.
And see, that's another place that I would love to get Raven out and let them have a freaking field day.
Yeah, Robbie, that would be a good place when you guys all come up to go to.
Yes, that is some of the best evidence I have ever gotten.
Yeah.
In my 18 plus years in the paranormal.
Yeah. Were you upstairs when Aaron and Jessica did the Estes method? Mm-hmm. Both of them tag teamed it.
Yep.
I thought that was pretty awesome. We were in the attic.
Yeah, my duties that night were really cool because I was keeping everybody on schedule and checking on everybody. So I got to jump around. Mm-hmm. So I got to see a lot. And I made it up there 10 minutes before it was rotation time, so I got to watch some of that, and that was great. And then after everybody left, well, see, my wife and I, we stayed there that first night. We stayed in the master bedroom. Mm-hmm. I didn't sleep worth a damn.
I bet not.
That hallway sounded like a marching band all night long. Well, I got up to use the restroom, and thank God Stephanie didn't see this on the cameras because I'm walking in my boxers because that is Stephanie. She would have put that everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Well, I thought my wife had gotten up, so I literally because something came up behind me and touched me, so I literally moved because I thought that maybe she needs to get somewhere. And I turn around, there's nobody there, and I'm like, well, I thought I had to pee, but I'm going back to bed.
Yeah.
But then that next night after everybody left, it was me, Jessica, my wife, Stephanie, Christy Ayers. We were all in the library, and that library, we've got some of the clearest EVPs, knock reactions, doors opening and the little cabinet doors opening and closing on command. Wow. That place is amazing.
Yeah, it was. It really was. Actually, I had bought tickets for it that weekend. And so I went with Aaron and Mark. We had went up there. And that I got there, I guess it was that Saturday, and there was a line of people ready to check in. And Katie wasn't quite ready, and she pulled me off to the side. She goes, "Here, you know how to do this. Do check in." So here I am. I did check in.
Right, yeah. You did check in with my wife, didn't you? Uh-huh. She got thrown into that too, and she's like, I don't know today.
Yep, it was fun. That was a good weekend. It really was.
Yeah, Robbie, you would enjoy that, man, if you ever get a chance to get out there. And plus, right down the road is the Sally house.
Well, the thing is Robbie is coming up DA Roberts and several of us are coming, and we're doing at Big River Ranch. They're in Lexington, Missouri. We're doing a cryptid thing, and so we were going to kind of show them some ghosts. We're going to do the Ray County Museum. We were thinking, but I might holler at Stephanie and see if anything's going on that weekend over there, because it's not that far.
No,
Yeah.
it's really not.
Brandy's talking about hooking me up to some kind of box or something like that. I don't know. She said she's something about the fat guys and bait. I don't know. So I need to lose. All I know is I need to lose some weight between now and then, so I'm not one of the fat guys.
No, basically, I'm the bait. She's just going to have you walk with me.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you said fat guys were going to be the bait.
No.
Well, as long as you can run faster than whoever you're with, you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem. I'm not as fast as I used to be.
Well, trust me, I know how that is. Well, I mean, like, did you hear about the guy that got attacked by like a Kodiak bear and he fought it off with a 22? Yeah, the guy that he was with shot him in the knee. So.
Yep.
Yep.
I've heard that one.
Yep.
How you gonna outrun? I don't have to outrun them. I just need to. There you go.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Sorry,
Sweet baby rays.
redneck jokes.
What DA just said. That's what I said. They need to bring the sweet baby rays for me and DA because we're the bait.
Well, that's a good choice of barbecue sauce too.
We hope the Dogman and Bigfoot like that brand. That's what we're bringing. So
I mean, if they don't, you'll catch me in a trap.
They're not good Southern cryptids if they don't like sweet baby rays.
I mean, we'll have to sit down by the campfire and have a little chat with them if they don't eat some sweet baby rays.
Actually, I like sweet baby rays. That's what I buy for barbecue sauce. So yeah. Do you want to tell everybody, Brandon, where they can find? Do you have a YouTube group and stuff for Shaman Sundays? I know Supernatural Inc. does, so I can put that link.
I do have a Shaman Sundays YouTube page. I haven't figured out how to go live on there yet, so I upload every episode pretty much an hour after it airs.
Okay.
But you should be able to find it at Shaman Sundays. If I can find my tablet, I can pull it. I don't even know the name of the thing. That's bad, isn't it? I'm sure you can find it Shaman Sundays with Brandon Cooper.
Okay.
I think you should be able to. You can also find me on Spotify. It's Shaman Sundays Live with Brandon Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bill of Rights Network on Facebook. You can search that, and that's the network that I'm on. I also go live on 3 of the Supernatural Inc. Facebook pages. You can find me on Facebook at Shaman Sundays. I think you're on that one. I think, Krista.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, you can. I'm out there. I'm trying to figure out this whole podcast, spread it out thing. But
well, I'll tell you what. It took me a little while, and I've had. DA's been a big help, and Tex from Texas Front Porch has been a big help. So if you need some help, holler. I can try my best. If not, I can hook you up with people who can help you. So,
well, yeah, I may take you up on that. I mean, my goal, and here's why not a lot of people know a shaman. We like to stay in the background. Mm-hmm. We like to do what we need to do for the land and for the people, and we don't like being in the spotlight. A shaman way of life is not a life that you choose. It is chosen for you. Mm-hmm. You would be a fool to choose this life. It is a hard road. But since I've been pushed to get out there, now my goal is to improve the lives of people, help people get back to nature. Too many people are getting their souls sucked out through electronics. You've got to remember that nature is out there and nature is healing, and nature wants you to be out there. Trees grow leaves because of you, to shade you. You know, people are just missing out, and life is too short and too precious just not to be able to get out there. And, you know, depression is running rampant, suicides are up, and nature's got the answer, you know,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
kindness, you know, not there's a difference between kind and nice.
Mhm.
I'd rather be a kind person that's not nice than a nice person that's not kind.
Makes sense.
Oh, so, you know, and so that's just my goal, is to try to help as many people as I possibly can and help heal the hearts and, you know, and the soul, because that's just been my job in life. That's what I'm here on this planet for. And if I can make one person smile or feel a little bit better than when they walk away than when they walked up, then, you know, that's my job. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we're
Yeah,
gonna
there's nothing like taking your shoes and socks off and standing in that grass,
I mean,
connecting with the earth.
it's just
True.
that's how we're supposed to be. You know, shoes are actually bad for you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my feet can tell you, yeah, 100%.
I mean, they're the worst invention of mankind, because they cut you off from the vibrations of nature. And, you know, there's a conspiracy theory hidden in there. You know, we didn't need shoes. What are you trying to cut us off from?
There you go. There you go. Well, we're at an hour and 36 minutes, so we're going to call this a night. Brandon, Robbie, and Brandy, obviously, you always stay on, but you guys stay on.
Okay.
Want to thank everybody for tuning in. Tomorrow night, you will be stuck with Brandy and I again. We'll be doing blondes and booze and the woo. And we have
There it
Terry
is. Woo!
and Megan Medley tomorrow night, and then Saturday nights. I think we're teaming up with Da and Robbie, so it'll be fun for the next
Talking
couple
about
of
creepy Missouri, for real.
Yep. So if you guys would tune in the next 2 nights, and Brandon, seriously, thank you very much. We'd love to have you back sometime.
Well, actually, the honor is mine. I am a nobody out here in this world, and just to have you guys choose me to come on your great show is actually my pleasure. It's to my benefit to have you guys in my life. So thank you so much.
We appreciate that, and definitely
you.
we'll see you next year. I'm sure we'll run into each other at some point next year.
Yeah.
You never know where I'm going to turn up.
Right? Us either. Us either.
And thanks, Robbie, for coming on.
Yeah, last minute.
Hey,
Blonde
Thanks,
wigs for everybody.
Krista bailed me out last night. And I was like,
I needed you tonight.
I wasn't going on that show last night. You should have seen me. My hair was like this big old nasty, messy bun thing, and the shirt I was wearing had holes in it. And I'm like, no, not showing my face.
You're just go back and
No.
laugh at me going, where were we at?
Right, exactly. Well, we appreciate everybody, and we'll see everybody tomorrow night. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.
Night, everybody.